In this video, I'm going to talk about PAC CLI command named as PAC Power FX. Now, PAC Power FX command allows you to run Power FX command in command line interface. Now, the benefit of using this approach is you need not have a Power Apps application or Power Automate flow to run the Power FX command. You can actually run the Power FX command in the command line. Now, the syntax for it is PAC Power FX. Okay, so there are two types of command: pack power dash fx repl and pack power dash fx run. Now the second part, pack power fx run, allows you to run the power fx command file from a text file. So if you provide a file path, or it can be a text file containing the powerfx command, then you can actually run the powerfx command using this command line. Now, when echo option is turned on, then it will display the command execution trace in the console, which will help you ascertain that the command has really executed and the output is being rendered on the screen or console. PowerFX REPL is basically an interactive tool. So it launches the interactive PowerFX Read-Eval-Print loop. Okay. Now I'll not be able to demonstrate this because this particular pack PowerFX REPL has known issue. It currently does not run properly, but it does the same purpose. So the purpose is basically to run the PowerFX command. So if you are in that interactive PowerFX tool, then you will be able to run that command. So I'm going to demonstrate pack power -fx run. Now, pack power -fx, if you see over here, it has two options, REPL and run. REPL is launching the interactive PowerFX Read-Eval-Print loop. Run is running a file of PowerFX instructions. Now, in order to run this, you need to have a file, PFX.txt, and this file, like this is just one sample example which I have created over here. Now, what does this file contains? It contains basically a set of PowerFX code. Okay, so now if you see the first statement, it says collect, and then in the contacts table, it will insert first name and last name. Now, separated by semicolon, there is another statement, and then there is a third statement. So what it will do, it will add three records in the contacts table. The next two statement, today, now, will give you the date, time of, like, for that specific current instance. Third statement, first of filter of contacts, will give you the first item of the contacts for which the condition is evaluated to true. And the last statement, contacts, will give you the output of the table, contacts table. Okay, now that's about the pack power effects. Now there is another command, pack power -fx repl Read-Eval-Print loop. Basically it's an interactive terminal. I tried executing this, but then it doesn't work because Microsoft has confirmed the known issue and they have written in the documentation as well. So just to show you the command line for pack power effects. So if you go into the documentation learn.microsoft.com, here they have provided pack power effects repl and run command. And there is a note over here. It says if you install Power Platform CLI using Windows MSI, which I have done, there is a known issue with pack power effects repl where the shell may stop responding when using this command. Okay, so it is still in a preview state and it is still under development. So this command may or may not work in your situation if you have installed Power Platform CLI using the Windows MSI. Okay, so let's jump into the demo. I'm in Windows PowerShell. I've run as an administrator mode. And in order to run this command, first what you need to do is you need to have the pack CLI installed and make sure that pack CLI is in the latest version. So if you do pack install latest, then it will get the package, the latest package. And in my case, it is the latest package till date 1.32.8, which is the latest version. Now, once I have this command, I can just type pack power fx, power-fx. Now it will output, it will throw two commands, repl and run. So I can use both of this. As I mentioned to you, if I use repl, it will just hang the system. So I don't want to use that. But in order to demonstrate to you the powerfx command, I will use a command called as pack power-fx, and I'd say run, and then I need to provide a file name. Okay, now the file name, I'm gonna say C. The file would be at C drive, and I'll call it as PFX.txt. Okay, so I need to create this file in this location. So I'll create that file. Now I'll go into the notepad and I'll say, I'll put a file save as, say, this PC, C drive, and I'll just call it as pfx.txt. So this is that pfx file. It is not allowing me to save at C drive. Basically, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put it in, say, maybe desktop. Okay, so in desktop, I'll just put this file and I'll copy this path. Okay, so this is the path. So let me copy the path. So this is the path, and I'll say pfx.txt. So this is that pfx file, right? And I can run this command. Now I've just run this command. It will connect to the environment and then it will output the result. Now in the file there is nothing, so that's why it is not showing you any specific output. Now let me type in something over here. So if I just type in the file today and put a semicolon, and I'll just save this, and now if I run this file, then it will connect to the PowerFX environment, and then it should actually give me the today's result. It says the value passed to dash dash file is invalid. The file could not be found. Okay, so the I think we have misspelled the name. It's pxf, so the file name is pfx. So let me put this file pfx.txt. Now this is the correct file name. It will connect to the environment and then try to execute that command. Now the command is basically, I've just put as today and I put a semicolon. Now let me put another command, say now. Okay, and I'll just say save, and I'll run this command. Now, as you might have seen, that we have created, like say, one txt file with the powerfx command, but still we don't see an output. Okay, so if you see the powerfx file, the pfx.txt, now it has today and now, these two commands, but still we are not able to see the output. Now why? Because there is one switch which is remaining, which we need to add, that is dash dash echo. Okay, so if you want to echo the output onto the screen, so once I do that, now if you see that this is connected to the environment, and now it has displayed today. So today has given you the date. It has given 2024 6 12, and now it has given you the date time. Okay, so like this you can see the output, whether the powerfx command is getting executed or not. In our previous instances, the command was getting executed, however the output was not visible. Okay, so let's start adding some more powerfx command. Okay, so today now, and now let's add say collect. Okay, now what we are going to do, now before you even look into the collect, let me type in contacts. Okay, let's see what happens. Okay, now if I just put contacts, and if I put a let's see what happens if I run this command. Okay, now we have added one more statement after today and now, contact. So it should display today's date, time, and it runs through the contacts table. It displayed the contact ID and full name, and it has just given you dash dash dash. Okay, so it is showing you the first 10 records. So what we have done, we have executed a command like is select star from contacts or select top 10 from contacts. Okay, so it is equivalent to that. Similarly, let's say if I type in accounts, and we need to separate it with semicolon. Let me save this and let me run this command again. So we are connected to the Girish prod environment, and we are now connecting to two different tables, contacts and account. Now accounts, if you see here, it has listed down say 4 entries. Okay, now uh, it has queried contacts, it has queried accounts. Now let's go into the table. Okay, so let me go into say power apps. Say, let me go into make.power apps and then go into the correct environment, which is Girish prod environment, and try to see like how we can call a custom table. Okay, so uh, let me go into Girish prod, and then if I go into the tables, now we have used account, we have used contacts. Now if you see account, okay, this is the table which we executed. Contact is the table which we executed. If you click on custom, there is an airlines over here, right? Now what should we type? Should we type the table name? Should we type the logical name? Should we type the schema name? Okay, so in airlines, if we go to tools, let me copy the set name. Okay, and let me put the set name over here. So put a semicolon, paste this value. Okay, and just save this, and let's run this command and see what happens. So it is querying contacts, it is querying accounts, and in the set name, now if you see here, I've copied the set name. It says name isn't valid. Okay, it isn't recognized. So for a custom table, it is not a set name. Okay, now let me go ahead over here and let me copy the schema name. Okay, now if I copy the schema name and paste it over here and remove this two things, three things, and save this and run the PowerShell command, then it says name isn't valid. So it is not even the schema name. So let me copy the logical name now. Now if I copy the logical name and if I paste it over here, save it, and now execute this command. And now if you see, it has correctly displayed this record. Now what you need to remember is that you need to have the logical name of that specific table. And once you have the logical name of that specific table, you put that as a PowerShell command, PowerFX command. Okay, so this is the logical name, and then you run this. So it is not a schema name, it is not a set name, it is not the display name of the table, but it is like your logical name. So like this you can run various command. Okay, now just to add more complexity into the contacts table, so let me first see what are available within the contacts table. Now if you see in my contacts table earlier, when I executed it, it displayed the full name, grape juice, Don Jim. Okay, let me put the, this is the first name. Okay, first name, grape. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to write a power effects, a bit complex power effect. So first was contacts. Okay, so contacts was the one which listed all the contacts, and now I'm going to just say first off, and then what I want to filter what, filter contacts, and I will just say last name, or maybe the first name equal to, and what is the first name equal to, let me call it as say grape. Okay, so if I want just one record to be displayed, then I'll just close this and then close this. So what I'm doing is like I'm querying the contacts table and I'm filtering out the contacts table with the first name column having the value as grape. Let's see whether this, what this command gives you an output. So again, coming here, let me put the CLS and run the command. So now if you see here, this is connected. It will iterate through contacts and it will filter out the first record which is available with the first name as grape, and it has correctly given you the contact ID. The GUI ID starts with B68FC, which is B68FCEFB8408, and this is that number. And why? Because the query string mentioned the first name as grape. So like this we can generate the record. Now if you see in this contact record, there are multiple grape juice record, but we have queried the first item out of it. So like this you can write very complex queries in your power fx as well. Also you can start adding a record. So in order to add a record, what you can do, I'll just remove this, maybe I'll just say collect, and maybe if I want to add something in the contacts record, so contacts, and if I say put, or maybe let me put it in accounts record, so accounts, and in the accounts let me remove this accounts and let me put accounts here, and let me say collect accounts and first name colon, and or maybe instead of accounts I'll just put contacts itself. So let me say contacts and first name is say Tim's. Okay, and I'll just close this, and I'll just close this record. So contacts, first name, colon, Tim's, and maybe I'll just put the last name as well. So let me put the last name, colon, and say John. Okay, let's see what happens when you run this command. Okay, so I'll just save this. If the syntax is correct, this should run fine. And I'll put a semicolon as well, Control S. Okay, so CLS, and let me run this command. Now it has given you today. Now it has added that record, and now we have successfully added the contacts record over here. So I've added this John as a record over here. Now if I want to display the contacts, so let me run this contacts now, then I should be able to see the result as well. Okay, now provided it gives you more than 10 result, but now in my case it is just it just displays first 10 records, so I may not be able to see that record. But if you see the listing, it has given you 10 record and say showing first 10 record. But then in the back end, if I go into say contacts, if I go into contact, and if I go into the backend table, it says 12 plus additional rows, and the record which we have just added, Tim's John, will be displayed over here. So this is how you can verify whether the record which you have added into the system has been added or not. So that's it, folks. This is all about using PAC Power FX command to run Power FX command in the context of PAC CLI environment. Thanks for watching.